So I want to make sure, because I said it a million times in the videos, that if there are business problems or expectations or challenges that anyone wants to bring to the table today, that you have an opportunity to do that. Now that we've sort of colored and flavored the afternoon with where John's expertise lies and the foundation upon which we'll build out many of the solutions that we'll produce today. So is there anyone that wants to volunteer or bring a challenge to the table? Shoot.
So if I have a value that I would see as being beneficial to the business, but maybe it's lower on my own personal values, how can I move that up the list?
Great question. The first thing that I do, and I do that because that's something that happens quite often actually. Sometimes a company will ask me to come in and work with a CEO that has 80% of the values that are really in line, but there's a few that maybe not, and we'll readjust it. Anytime you set a goal that is not aligned with your values, you've sort of self-defeated. You beat yourself up. So you have two choices, two ways of getting alignment. You can change your goals to match the values, or you can change the values to match the goals. Either way. So I'll use a story here to get the message across. It's a simple story, may or may not relate to you. If I was a little girl and I was about to do a solo performance singing at my elementary school, and I'm, say, 10 years old, and I come up on stage, I'm a little anxious, and I get up and I sing, and I close my eyes and I become present, and I sing like an angelic individual, and flawlessly perform, and the whole room is in tears, and it's immediately a standing ovation at the end. And people want to come up and hug her and celebrate, etc. The probability is of her singing again is pretty high. She'll want to go do it again. But if she goes up, forgets the words, goes off key, people start walking out, people throw things, say, what the heck's this about? Then she may have so much humility, the pain of that may make her not want to go up there again. So we have the capacity through the medium of pleasure or pain to stack up benefits or drawbacks to any value system and move it into a different arrangement. We do it spontaneously, unconsciously as we go through life. If we go and do something new in our business and it doesn't work, we're afraid to do it again. We lower it on our value list. We do something and it seems to be working, it goes up, we want to encourage it. This has benefits and drawbacks. Sometimes there's a time that was just out of timing, and they were both, the first one's effective and the other one may not be in the future. But we're adjusting. Most of it is unconscious, but people who are aware become conscious of what they're doing. So the way you raise a value up is first identify what the values you are living by are, and not speculate, not assume, not hope, not project assumptions on it. So I have a value determination process that is 13 steps that maybe you want to do that. At least mention, I don't know if I'll go over it, but maybe mention. And you might want to write these down. So this would be first, before I would try to change it. I'd first do this. Maybe write down, we're going to write 13 different things here. And the first one, I call these value determinants. And these are available on my website. If you'd like to go to the website, you can do it live on the website. It's private, no one else will see it. You can do it, it's right there. I would encourage you to do it because, and you can watch it and see it evolve as you go through life.
I can also facilitate this for you anytime you like, so just let us know.
Alex is an expert in this, he'll be able to do it also. But the first determinant is how you fill your space. And I asked for 3 answers. What do you fill your space with? If I go to your personal space, your professional space, what would I see? If you were to go to my space, you'd see books, magazines, computer for research, writing materials on the computer, and travel bags, because I travel. So what is your space? Because anything that's valuable to you, keep in your space, and it's not, you push away. You don't want it around you. So the one determinant is space. The second one is time. you find a way to make time for things that are really valuable to you. You may have temporary frustrations periodically, but you try to orchestrate your life where you get to do the things you do and make time for things. So you look for what is it you have time and make time for and spend most of your time on. Even though you may say it's something, there may be an unconscious or other reason why you're doing it. I have people tell me sometimes that I work 10 hours a day, but I don't like doing it. But what is it? You wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't providing you something. Is it financial security that you're actually there for? Is it recognition, social impact? Is it because it's part of the family's job? What is it you're really doing there? When we narrow it down, because you're really spending time doing that. Maybe financial security. The third one is the energy. When you're doing something that's high in your value, you have energy. Your energy goes up. Energy is infinite once you recognize congruency is the source of it. So you look at where you have energy and where you don't. And what do you always have energy for? You'll get right up. I know people that are saying, oh, it's tiring and everything else, and all of a sudden something comes up that's really amazing, it's the highest value, they get right back up and go. Fourth one is money. Things that are high in your value, you'll find money for, you'll spend money on. If it's not high in your value, you won't take time for spending money on it. You'll avoid it. Somebody can't sell you something that's not valuable to you. You won't give up your money for it. The fifth one is where you're most ordered and organized in your life. Where you're most ordered and organized in your life. Because in that area, the highest value, that's where you tend to bring the most order. I was flying one day and I saw a young girl in the front seat of the plane. She must have been 8. And I saw on her little tray 15 horses, all laid out on the tray in first class with her dad. So I was standing there about to use the restroom and I started talking to her. I said, you obviously love horses. She said, I do. So I asked the dad, is the room filled with horses? Yes. Does she spend time all day thinking about focusing on doing horses? She says, oh my God, you have no idea. I went right down to the value determinants, and she was extremely congruent, and her dream was to work with horses and race horses and ride horses and everything else. She was congruent. She was fulfilled. She had order and organization in the arrangement of the horses, all by height. Classical sign. 6 is the degree of discipline, the reliability and focus you have. Where is it that nobody has to wonder if you're going to do something? Where are you reliable? Where are you disciplined? Where is it that you get things done? You can rely on me to be researching and teaching. You can't rely on me to be cooking or driving. That's something I don't do. Although the other day I got in some sort of friggin' commercial on driving. Ferrari or something.
Yeah, but you did not drive.
I did not drive. I had no idea why they asked me to do a Ferrari. Most crazy thing in the world. He asked me to turn on the ignition. I didn't know how to do it. I haven't driven in about 25 years. Think. The next one is, what do you think about most about how you want your life that shows evidence of coming true? If there's no evidence, it's not really true. Because people think about things in fantasies. They think about being financially independent, but if they don't have the values on saving and investing money more than buying immediate gratifying depreciables and consumables, they're not going to do well. So what is it that you really have that you're thinking about that you're showing evidence of, that there's actual results? 8, what are you visualizing about how you want your life that actually is coming true? Number 9, what are you internally dialoguing or affirming inside your head about how you want your life that's showing evidence of coming true? 10, what are you externally dialoguing with other people about most? What do you keep wanting to bring the conversation to about most? Because when you're in social settings, people come up to you and say, how's your family? How's your business? How's your investments? How's your golf game? They want to project their values onto and discuss things. So look at what you want to talk about most. 11, what do you want to bring the conversation to? What is it that inspires you? Or what's common to the people who inspire you? I'm inspired by great thinkers and great leaders. What are you inspired by? And what is it, looking back at your life, when you had literally inspirational moments, maybe even tears in the eyes because you said some inspiration? What was the common denominator? looking at what is common to those inspired trends. 12, what is it you actually have as goals that you're actually having come true? What goals have you had persistent and consistently done and worked on that are coming true? Have a persistent goal of traveling the world teaching? It's come true. The 13th is, what is it you love learning about, studying about, reading about, and listening to about most? When you go to the bookstore, where do you go? You go on the internet, what do you want to read? What's the most consistent things you're targeting, wanting to fill your brain with? Because we tend to want to learn automatically whatever's highest on the map, spontaneously. And many times in schools, the curriculum does not match the children's highest values, and so they end up labeled whatever. When in truth, they're geniuses, but they haven't seen how their curriculum is helping them fulfill their highest value. Once we show them how to, amazingly, we had one school system went from 27% pass rate to 97% pass rate in a township in South Africa, a very poor area. Once we go through all the value determinants, and we get 3 answers each, out of those 39, we look at which of those answers or their synonyms surface most frequently, second most frequently, third most frequently, etc. Until all of them are accounted for. And that gives us a hierarchy of values. Gives us an idea of what our life demonstrates. It is not what you say. If I ask people what their values are, I'll get social idealisms that have been injected into them by some authority. That has nothing to do with what they live. I'm only interested in what the person demonstrates and what they live, because their life demonstrates their real values. My life demonstrates that I research and teach. Nobody has to remind me to do it. I do it every day. That's what I do. I can tell you all kinds of things. Health and fitness. Even sex. But it wouldn't come true. It's not real. That's only when it's on the delegation sheet. I'm joking. Once you summarize it, you now have a hierarchy of values, a set of values. Once we have that, we can look at that and see why we're making decisions and why we do what we do. If you've done it properly and answered it honestly, you'll look and you go, that's why I can see everything now makes sense. Once we have that, now we have to answer the question. Pardon me going off on that tangent for your question, but I want to get that foundation first. Once we identify what those values are, and we find out, let's just say that financial independence, you want to be more financially viable, more wealthy, but you find out that it's not on the list, or it's the bottom of the list. So what you do is, to raise it, you have 2 things to do. Accumulate what they call general benefits, and do what is called specific linking. So what you do is you stack up the benefits of, say, building wealth. Now I have 6 things that I have found in the wealthiest people in the world that I've identified interviewing billionaires and very wealthy individuals. And that is that they're dedicated to building a business that serves vast numbers of people. They're dedicated to directly or indirectly having people manage that business effectively and efficiently to maximize profits. They're dedicated to saving an ever-progressive portion of those profits, so they're actually accumulating a cash cushion to stabilize any volatilities and perturbations to the company. They're then investing and earning the right to risk with investments, so they're learning how to invest more meticulously as they go along, and they're not trying to gamble and get rich quick, but they're just methodically, strategically investing. They're also accumulating wealth, and then they have a cause for that wealth that goes beyond their life. Those 6 things, those are, I call them the 6 steps to wealth. I take those, if somebody wanted to raise wealth on their value list, I take those 6 things and I write down hundreds of benefits of how that's going to help me in my life. And I put general benefits, how's building a business going to help me? And then I'd also link it to whatever was highest on my value. If I found out that was my highest value was physical fitness, or maybe my family, or maybe physical fitness, then I would ask, how specifically is doing those 6 steps and building wealth, how is it specifically helping me in fitness? How specifically is helping my children? How is spending time with my children helping me build the business? How is doing my physical fitness helping me build the business? So I would link these, hundreds and hundreds of links. You won't get any really transformation in the brain until you have hundreds of links, until you, in your mind, have so many links that you change your behavior. If there's no change in behavior that day, you haven't got enough links. Sometimes I work with people and I do 1,200 links. And their life changes that day. It's not tomorrow, it's not next week. Their perceptions, their decisions, and their actions have changed because now what's highest on the value has been shifted. And you can't write down, if you want to build wealth, for instance, that the benefits of building a business is I can go in my yacht. That's the benefits of spending money and living a lifestyle. It's got to be benefits of actually building a business and getting in there and managing and focusing and leading a business. It's got to be exactly those things. But let's say wealth building isn't high on your values. Let's say that you want to be involved in politics, like a friend of mine and a client of mine in Buffalo, New York. He was on CNN all the time. He's in politics. And he basically wanted to raise the value of speaking and getting out to interact with people. Because he was dealing with one-on-ones really well, but he wasn't doing well with big groups. So you had to write the benefits of actually standing in front of a group and imagining yourself, because the only reason you have a fear of speaking in front of people is because you assume that the people outside you that you're going to speak to have something you don't. So you have to stack up enough benefits to override the inertia, the resistance you might find speaking up to somebody you think has something you don't. And you also have to find out where you have what you see in them inside you, so you're not putting them on a pedestal and minimizing you and holding back. So you stack up enough benefits until you see changes in behavior. And I've seen change in behavior sometimes from 200. I've seen it sometimes up to 1,200. But if you stop at your comfort zone, there'll be no change. It's got to be where you've now remyelinated the brain, restructured the brain with new insights and new links. And the moment you do, your brain, neuroplastically, literally changes. What the pathways in the brain are starting to remodel. They change the second you have new insights that are linked to your highest value. You maximize brain function, because everything we do is trying to help us fulfill the telos, the highest value, and everything we link to it, the more it's linked to the telos, the highest value, the more we see opportunities, decide, and take action and pursue. So we stack up those benefits until we see a change in behavior. Make sense? Of course, if you want to lower something on a value, you do the opposite. You delink it. How is it disserving that highest value? How's it interfering with it? And what are the downsides? And stack up enough where you've associated pain with it to withdraw, and it will decay in the brain. The brain will literally cause apoptosis and breaking down of neurons and demyelinate the brain and erode the brain. A tree, when it's growing to the sun, any branch that has the greatest photosynthesis will automatically grow stronger, and anyone that doesn't will undergo into shade and then break down and fall. So anything that's helping you fulfill the telos will grow stronger, anything that's not will decay. The brain is neuroplastically remodeling itself like a tree, and it's helping you fulfill your telos. That's why it's important to know what the telos is, the highest value, and making sure that you're linking everything that's crucial to the business to that to maximize the performance and the productivity of yourself. And by you doing it, as Albert Einstein said, the greatest teacher is exemplification. So by us exemplifying that, it ripples down to the people that work in the company. Because they see it, if you're not doing your job, they're not going to do this. If you're inspired by what you do, it's a higher probability that they'll stay in line.